kill is fine killing. They make a follow I'm really. That's who she do use me.
Where were we? You forgot where we were?
No, I was asking you about that.
Yeah, so like, well, yeah, so we're talking about how masculinity is essential for survival than femininity.
And you had a point that you kept.
And I forgot.
I don't know. Oh yeah, they go to the next part of the question then.
Yeah,
so
okay, so we all agree that masculinity is essential for survival, right?
I'm understanding it.
So, if that's true, why is masculinity seen as toxic?
So, masculinity is actually not toxic. There's nothing like toxic masculinity.
That's what I said. Because the first thing I said, what is toxic masculinity?
So
I don't understand.
It's just basically one of those vocabularies that is being pushed by the feminist movement, that there is such a thing as toxic masculinity. Because then I ask you, what's toxic femininity?
So toxic masculinity, according to dictionary, according to Oxford language,
it's hard for me to believe Oxford, because Oxford just keeps on churning out different definitions nowadays to suit the social construct.
A set of attitude and ways of behaving stereotypically associated with or expected of male, regarded as having a negative impact on men and on society as a whole. So toxic masculinity is when your masculinity has a negative impact on the society.
So what's toxic femininity then? I would assume that should be the opposite.
Yeah, it's the opposite.
Now, what I would say, and just my thoughts around this is, I don't think you would say because there is masculinity you should call it toxic masculinity.
People are just
Now,
toxic.
exactly. There are
are
ladies that are toxic. There are guys that are toxic.
No,
So that doesn't
toxic.
mean
Yeah.
that masculinity in itself is
It's,
toxic.
when you say toxic masculinity, we're not saying that all guys, because they are masculine, means they are they're exhibiting.
But
that's
that's
the
what people
thing.
are pushing.
Yeah,
They're
but that's
saying
what
that
they're
being
saying.
masculine is
No,
toxic.
that's wrong, because toxic masculinity just means, according to another one, is referred to dominant form of masculinity wherein men use dominant violence and control.
You don't need to be a
exert their
man
power.
to be toxic.
So-
that's the
You
point.
don't need to be
it's
a
like-
man to be toxic.
But then you said masculinity is strength,
And that's what I'm
power.
saying. It's a vocabulary
Exactly.
being pushed that because of there is a male and female, they must be people are just toxic.
Exactly.
So wait.
I think
Do you say they are rude? Do you say they are rude?
Advocate,
Do you say they are rude men characteristics, or they are just rude people? They are just rude people.
Exactly.
They are just bad
that's my
people.
thought.
No,
They are not good men
see,
people.
Because
from what
when
I
it's even-
understand, my own
okay.
understanding is that masculinity is strength, dominance, or what did you people say? That's what masculinity is. But when it becomes toxic is when you're using this dominance in a wrong way.
Yeah.
Is that not?
See,
That's when it's
now-
toxic, and you're using
So,
now
it
there
as
is
something-
so when
okay.
a woman is using a caring, which is a feminine characteristics, right, in a wrong way, will you also?
say that's
That's toxic femininity.
Now, see,
It's just toxic.
anything
people.
But how do you
exactly.
use
Wait,
caring, support?
I
and
think
everything
I think
the
you
wrong
don't
way?
you don't understand life generally, and sorry.
That's another quote. Too. That's another quote.
Yeah, but
Please,
No,
put it on that
After
here.
me. I don't understand life.
Defend why she doesn't understand.
I don't understand life.
because
Thank you.
no, something about life generally is you use what you have to your advantage, irrespective of who you are. Now, if you're using it in a negative or positive way, that doesn't mean that that thing in itself is a disadvantage. It just means that you yourself, you are the person that is
Using it
bad,
in-
using
yeah.
it in a negative way. So you won't say that thing in itself is bad, but because you're the one using it in a negative way, then you're the negative person. So now a lady can use anything. I've seen ladies that have killed guys too, that they have done crazy things, and you won't
Because
say,
they cheated.
yeah, and you won't say because.
Wait, so your defense?
No, I'm
No,
saying
she's
that
not
some
defending.
women, okay, because the men cheated, the woman women
No, no,
will
no,
go
no.
overboard
No,
and
no,
go
no.
and
But
board the
that
car.
that still is not a good example. He just said that women that have done bad things.
Bad
But you're
things.
now saying
Even
because
irrespective
regardless
of
of-
regardless.
person cheated.
No,
no,
don't
no,
get
no,
me wrong.
no,
He's
no, no.
bad.
She-
oh.
No,
so
there are
so
some-
basically
Come
you're
bomb
saying
my
No, there are
the only
some-
time women
no.
have
my
done
car,
bad things
you
is
bomb
because
my house.
See, there are times that you
that's
haven't even
men-
done anything.
men have not done
Exactly.
anything. That's what he's saying.
So,
Okay,
but
okay.
because the person in
Why does she have to throw men on that?
the person is just wicked. You know, the person
He's
is
just
just
wicked.
wicked, and that's it. Like, so the lady most times, and of course, let me even use another example that is not so extreme. There have been times that ladies blackmail guys emotionally, and they just use that
Because they know the man or
Yeah.
the man likes them or
Exactly, and they use it to their own advantage, like in a bad way. There have been ladies that collected money from guys that they know that they won't date or they won't marry, and it's just like using their own feminine traits to their advantage. But you won't say that because of that it's toxic. That's what they have, and that's the only way they can. You can only use what you have to your advantage. Now, as a guy, if I notice that okay, this lady is, I want to take control of this particular lady. What do I have in my own, in my space that I can use against this lady? Then I think of my strength. I think of other things. Then you won't call it masculinity in itself toxic, but it's just
It's
me
just
using
because
what I
they-
have.
It's not just them using it against female. They use it in, like for all genders. They are being toxic.
So I've never gone on the line and I've seen toxic femininity. I don't know if you've seen it, but have I seen
That's what
toxic
we're talking about.
masculinity?
And there are
I've
lots-
seen that
We're
phrase.
not talking about the
and there are a
opposite.
lot
We're
of
not talking about
toxic ladies.
because there can be toxic femininity, yes, but we're talking about toxic masculinity in here. I'm not saying that just because there's toxic
No,
masculinity,
I
there's
have
no
one point.
toxic
Point I wanted to
femininity.
say before.
Remember, your brain click.
No. So what I wanted to say is that the feminist movement, they push that they want to be more masculine. They allow that. Now I see that, I'm noticing that a lot of women are complaining that they want their men to be more feminine because
No, I see
No.
the opposite. I see the opposite.
Wait,
I see
wait,
women
let me
asking for men
finish.
to be more masculine.
no,
now.
they want to be more
Wow.
feminine with the emotion side. Oh, you're not showing enough emotion. Why are you not showing enough emotion? That's feminine, right? Emotional, but yeah, feminine and more.
Vulnerability.
So
I think we're
Because-
taking
no,
dictionary
wait,
meaning
let me
or things like because that's
We
what
are-
the word.
we are not-
basing off the
But I don't really
Not
want
that
us
sure,
to
we're
streamline
basing it-
ourselves.
because they're saying that it means masculine means not showing
See.
emotion. So
See, the reason
that's
why
how
we are
it is.
see
Everyone
the
shows
reason why we
emotions
the
one way or
reason
the
the reason
other.
why we are here is my own thoughts. The reason why we are here is not to read out dictionary because everyone can do that, or not to just come with. It's just to share your own opinion, your own thoughts around something.
Yeah, that's
And
what
when it comes to that, you don't necessarily have to stick to the usuals. In fact, someone put down toxic masculinity, and when you go online, you'll see it because someone wrote it down.
Yeah.
Then the whole thing is you can always change the narrative based on the whole thing, like tabling the whole matter and looking at it from a
you guys' point of
good
view is like
perspective.
just because
So-
someone put it on like it's online doesn't mean it's valid because it's
No,
just
I'm not
one
saying
random
it's
person
valid
that
or it's
So-
not
so what
valid.
we are saying
We are
is
just looking
You
at
must
the issue.
understand the agenda and what that certain group of people are pushing, and that's why I said when you go on the internet, you always see toxic
What?
masculinity. And I asked you, have you seen people say toxic femininity?
There-
Is when the debate comes
And
as
does
to-
it mean that there are
There
no
are no
ladies
tox-
that
that are
are
toxic.
but then that's the
But it's not called toxic.
Exactly.
there are okay, you agree there are toxic
Yes,
women.
there's
But
toxic
have you heard
femininity.
have you heard toxic femininity?
because that's not the focus. The focus is
So that's
That's
what we
the
are
point.
saying. Why is
So
it a
one
focus?
has a
And she's
because
saying
one
it's a
is more
focus.
obvious than the
No,
other one.
because
One
you
is
have
more- one is more being
They are
done.
both
Because
obvious.
one person- and that's our point, because a group of people are pushing one.
Exactly.
A group
to
of
be
people
more
are
obvious,
pushing
yeah.
one narrative, and
But
you
you
have
see our fault that the group of other people are not pushing.
you must
it.
understand why they are pushing that narrative.
Exactly. And it's even obvious.
No, but she's
Like,
right.
And it's
No,
obvious.
she's right.
I don't understand.
So
we
wait.
see a problem. Females, we see a problem, and we say that yes, this is toxic, and we are pushing it out there. But then you guys, you are saying that there is toxic femininity, but you guys are just keeping quiet. But like, oh, there's toxic.
but
No,
Yeah,
because there is just toxic people.
exactly. There is no point.
Calm down, calm down.
There is no
There is
toxic.
no point pushing what is not.
Because
What
you're
is
playing
not?
into the
Because
gender war.
They are
Yeah.
saying that toxic masculinity doesn't exist.
Exactly.
What is that? No.
We don't
It's
have
just toxic people
You are
exist.
just
Toxic,
Exactly.
You are a
yes.
Toxic
masculine
people.
man.
Why are we
and
trying
you
to-
are
Toxic. You're a lady
I
that
still
is
don't
toxic.
agree with
So
that
that-
because I'm
Hey,
saying
go
that.
back to-
See, you are right
It is
there.
finished.
You say we can say our own opinion. Is that not what this table
Definitely,
is
that's
about?
true,
This
that's
is the
true.
table for putting
That's
your own
true,
opinion
that's
and everything
true.
in
Put
there.
it on the
Eh?
table.
And shake the table. But what I'm saying is that there's toxic masculinity and there's also toxic femininity. But you guys are saying
What
that
is
one
toxic femininity?
is that not what you say? Using your feminine support, caring as in the wrong way that is impacting the other person.
Yeah, a
You
toxic
understand?
person
But
is
you are
using what you have.
You're using
But
that,
we just said there are
femininity
some
for that.
women that have masculine traits.
Traits, mhm.
So how do you
So,
define?
But then-
exactly.
then
There
you
are
can
some
be a
women.
feminine.
Okay,
You
listen.
can be a
There are some
female.
women that
Let
beats
me
up their
talk.
man.
No, so
You
Okay,
can be a
so
female.
a woman that beats up
See,
the man.
can I say-
Are you
can I
saying it's
respond to-
toxic
can I
masculinity?
toxic?
Can I respond?
It's toxic
Masculine
femininity.
No, that's not it. That's not it. Let me explain it. to
She's
you.
just not it.
Let me explain it to you. You see that females can take also masculine roles, right? Yes, but then they are not called max feminine or anything like that. They are still called masculine roles, right? So even if they are displaying toxic masculinity, females can also display toxic masculinity because what they are doing is using the power or whatever dominance, violence that is attributed to masculine, and they are using and they are female, so they are exhibiting masculine.
But what I'm saying is, the
but
reason,
we're
the
saying
reason,
that
the reason why they are toxic is not because they are men. It's because they are
They are
just
just
toxic.
people.
They are just rude.
I am saying that based on the
They are just
definition or
wicked.
explanation of what you said masculine is, which
You're
is
just
dominance,
using the-
which is what else? What else did you say? Which is competitive strength and everything like that. Calm down. Calm down.
It's not my
Based
fault.
on the definition and what you said masculine is, that masculine can be used in a negative way, and that's what makes it toxic masculinity. And also femininity based on the definition of what femininity is, and when it's done in the wrong way or impacts the society in the wrong way, that is called feminine toxic or toxic
I think there's
femininity,
no
or
point
whatever they say.
just talking about this because
You guys
now,
are not looking at it from
now-
my angle. That's
now,
what you're saying.
If
I am
if
looking at
even
it
if
from my
understand,
if
but
if
the
I
thing is
if I am to
that-
push
I agree.
it,
See, I'm not saying that
See.
people are toxic. Like there's also like people are toxic, yes. But then I'm also saying that you can you are using your gender, your role or whatever gender role or whatever in a toxic way. That's what
Way.
makes it feminine toxicity or masculine
Because,
toxicity or
see.
whatever you want to call it. That's what I'm
But
trying to
that's why
say.
I asked, why is there not the phrase toxic femininity?
There is, but
You
then the
guys
one
are
that
not
is
pushing
being
it.
done,
No, because-
the one that is being done is
because-
masculine because, as you said,
Because
females
for-
have to
for-
take
for-
masculine roles
Because for
and
the
situations, and I'm
feminist
saying that
movement
females
to
can
push
also
their
be.
agenda, the best way to push their agenda was to say that there is toxic masculinity.
But the issue, do you think women will paint themselves bad?
No one will paint themselves.
so that's the point.
So you men that agree
Then
with
there is no
toxic
point.
femininity,
No, that's
You
the
see
issue.
what I mean?
Then
I'm not saying-
because
there
no
are-
wait
there are
because
feminists
because you are saying
there are
that
people that
they
use
are
their feminist trait in a toxic way, which is
Wait,
feminine, but then
wait.
it's not being talked
just-
about because
Wait,
what
oh,
are
yeah.
not talking about
See,
it?
listen,
But us, we find
listen.
something wrong and we talk about it. Is that a
No,
problem?
then because you are talking about it doesn't mean that I have to talk about it because that is not the problem. I don't see a lady that is toxic as a toxic
toxic
feminist. So I just see her as a toxic person. So there is no point of me
You
pushing
people are
the
not
fact that
understand
they
this
are toxic
definition.
feminine.
You people
What-
are.
what-
I'm
so
saying
what-
that I agree with you. People
what
are
you are- what you are
toxic. You
saying
can
is-
be a toxic person as an individual.
So why are you breaking it down if you just said you could be a toxic person? You're
But
now
then
breaking
I'm
it into a
saying-
subset.
Which
I
there's
am
no point
saying
doing that.
Listen, I'm saying that what makes it masculine or feminine is when you are using your gender roles or definition of your gender roles, such as dominance, violence,
So if we go down that path, if we go down your path, if we go down your path, it simply means rude. We'll start breaking rude into
That's not
masculinity.
it.
No,
Okay,
no, because
is it this?
you are
That
just
is
breaking.
not
You
And that's
start
why-
breaking every time. No,
And that's why I
what
said
I'm saying.
understand when
There's
people push
toxic
vocabularies.
No,
They will not
see,
put
wait,
femininity
wait,
in
let us look at
masculinity.
Dara, this
it
is what you
another
are
way.
doing.
Let's
You are
look-
breaking.
no,
You
let
are
us-
breaking
okay.
down a word
Let me
into two
let me
vocabularies,
explain what I'm saying.
which is playing into the gender race. And that's why I asked, would you push?
No, that's not what I'm
Would you
saying.
push?
You people are looking at it from a toxic, from the. Oh, no.
Don't say it, don't
You
stop.
people are looking at it from toxic is the top one, then it goes to masculine and feminine. That's
No,
No,
we are not even
that-
saying
that's
that.
what
No,
you- that's
you are the
what
one
I'm
doing
saying.
that. You are even the one doing that.
Why
You
You
agree
agree
that there's
It's not
toxic
me.
person.
Listen,
then you now.
That's what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that there's feminine and there's masculine. These are the characteristics of feminine. These are the characteristics of masculine. So when they are both done in a bad
Forgotten the
way,
microphone.
then it becomes
No.
becomes toxic. Yeah.
See what you are doing. Nah.
No, I'm sorry.
That's what you are saying.
I think
You're just
taking it-
breaking a subset,
Be-
something
because
that doesn't
if-
need to be
If
broken.
I want to be more controversial, I can even push it to another side, and this will even be more controversial to a lot of people, because this is also the way.
It's controversial. Please, I'm tired of being
For
the
me,
one about.
I don't even believe in racism in itself.
Yes, Salubwa.
Let him learn.
The table is on the table.
And
Yeah.
I'm a black person, so I should even believe more in that, because you
Let him
are
learn.
more on the what's it called, victim side.
Yeah.
But left to me, I don't believe in that. I just
Don't believe in this.
yeah,
Let him
I just believe in people that are bad in themselves, because when you are talking about racism and everything, you're just trying to push a particular narrative of maybe a set of people bad, and you're trying to play a victim card. It's so difficult for you when you're talking about racism. It's so difficult for you to talk about, okay, maybe the white people being the victim. It's so difficult. I'm not saying there are no situations like that, but it's so difficult for you to be saying that, oh, you are racialized. It's always from the minority aspect. And the truth remains that because someone said something to you, because someone said something bad to you, doesn't necessarily mean they are racist. They are just bad. Because a black person that is bad will also say the same thing. The only difference is now, because, now what is playing in Nigeria, especially at this moment, is tribalism and everything. Why can't you say that
It's racism.
it's racism?
Because you're all black.
But they're all black. And
It's
it's
definitely
tribalism.
not racism.
But what I'm now saying is,
But
even the tribalism is not the real thing. It is just the set of people that are bad, and that you just have
You
to,
guys are
because
looking at things
when
in
you
like black and white.
No, when
It's
you are-
like
you-
there are
when-
no other
wait, when you-
definitions to things.
what I'm saying is, when you still go deep, even within my tribe, you still have people that segregate each other. So
Yes.
what I'm saying is, it's
Igbo.
exactly
No,
so.
every tribe.
Igbo,
So,
Anambra.
so see,
Anambra,
can you see what we are saying?
But you
So
can't play racist then,
so
because
it's
they're
now
all
beyond the racism umbrella
So
to
would you say
knowing that this
discrimination?
person is bad, and because I've met great white people, I've met a lot of them. I won't say I've ever been racialized, and I've been here for close to 4 years. I've never experienced that.
Me too.
Big-
Because like a lot of people say racist, but like
But
me myself,
I've never experienced,
experienced.
which shows
I've
that
been here for how long? I've
and
been
you've
living
related
in a
and
white
you've
people
related
country for
and you've
19
related
years.
with a lot of white people. Why?
For 19 years.
Exactly. So
But
if,
you have
if
not
You know that there are
really
situations also
see,
that
No,
you
like,
so,
there's
no,
also-
what,
no,
what,
there are
wait,
situations
wait,
also that
what I'm
are-
not
No,
saying.
sometimes when I come
See.
back
You
home,
don't
I'm like,
know.
wait, were they
See.
being racist?
like
or they
you
were
because
just
you are
being-
not aware of like what.
So what I'm now
because
saying
you are
is-
used to.
What I'm now saying is, now 90% of a set of people are actually good to you. At least you said you've been here for 19 years. Let's say, I'm just assuming 90% are actually good to you. Now, you can see the majority in that environment. So I feel that the minority that we are talking about, they are just set of bad people with bad character that you just have to name being racist. So what I'm saying in essence is, looking at it from your own angle, it's like when we're talking about toxic masculinity or anything like that, I don't see them that because they are masculine, that's why they are toxic. They are just a toxic set of people.
As I said,
that
you
that
don't have to be
shows-
masculine to
Wait,
be.
but back to that racism thing. So if a white person calls you the N-word, is that racist?
No, I won't see it as racism. I just see it as
So
someone
if I
that
called
has
you,
lacks
if I called
character.
you, if I called
If
you,
you
wait,
call me
wait,
the
wait,
N-word,
why don't you
Uh-huh.
why don't you class it as racism? Because we're
it
both
won't
black.
be. Yeah, it won't be
What's the
So-
meaning of the N word?
black person.
So it's funny.
Using
It's
it
funny how the
because
black
they-
race. It's funny how the black race uses a word within themselves,
When it goes out,
but when it goes out of
their
and
own-
you know, if anything, depending on how you even say that word within yourself, it can still be. You can see the complexity you have poured into what a
But
word.
life is complex. You people are just wanting to look at it
But-
into
but-
black
sorry,
and
but
white.
the
But
reason-
life
but-
is complex.
But like
There are
when a
different-
white
there are
person
different-
calls, is
Why
like
don't you?
my
Why,
friend.
wait, but
It's
why
like,
don't?
yeah, my
Wait,
my
why don't
friend.
you have different
But-
definitions for one?
What are you saying? Why are like
okay,
there-
wait,
there-
looking
there
at
is-
the
there
Yoruba
are things that have to
culture,
be complicated.
wait, looking
We're
at the
looking
Yoruba
this such a
culture,
streamlined manner. There are things that are simple, yeah, but then there are also things that are complicated, and that's just how life is.
But what
But
I'm
you people
saying
want
is-
everything to be
See,
black and white. They're like,
see,
you just all
wait,
see.
let me
when
finish.
they are all
looking
different
at the
definitions.
Yoruba
you
culture,
even
right?
okay.
Looking at the Yoruba culture, there's epele and pele. Pele you can use it with your friends, right? But epele you have to use it with your elders. Or there's some greetings where you can use it with your friends, but the other ones like eshe, you use it with your elders. Oshe, you use it with your friends.
Yeah. Okay,
And
you're
it's
saying
the same thing
That's
with the N word.
That's language.
It's the same thing with the
I understand
N-word.
what you're saying. But
It's
now,
disrespectful if I say Oshe to somebody that's older than me. It's disrespectful.
now-
So if a white person says the N word to me, that's disrespectful.
I think
Why you say the N word? If I
And
I
then the
feel-
origin of the N
I
word also
feel-
is a thing, though. It's the
Yeah.
origin. That's what
See.
matters. That's what put meaning into it. It's
So
not
why
based
don't
on.
you scrap it?
It's not based
If the
on.
origin is bad, why don't you scrap it?
Because there are people
Because
that are
we've
still
taken
calling
it
and still
now. We've
degrading
taken it
and
and used it
and they
for
took it
strength.
and they don't want
So
it
it's,
to use.
so this is the problem.
Like the
A
B
word-
word.
The
I
origin
just
of
feel
the
like
word.
the
people
origin
are
of a
looking
word
at
is
things-
bad, right? So you took the word, which I don't even know what it means to take a word. So
Someone that is what
Like,
they mean that
you
they
took
took
a
in word
word.
is what the people used to make them considered they used to degrade them or to call them whatever. They
and
took
you
it
took
and
the
made
word and you flipped the word, right?
Yes.
You flipped the word. Then you said, and you are pushing this agenda of this certain set of people should not say
because when
that
they
word.
said it was offensive and they
It was
don't-
offensive.
So why not just scrap the word? So
No.
the best way to settle
Because words are
the
not
best
just
way to
scrapped.
settle
it's for
it
you people
Because
to use it
that's
and
the
them
thing,
not
that's
and
use
not
it.
that
how life
or
is.
a more
Words are
reasonable
not
you just
how are
scrap
they going
it
to scrap the
totally.
word? How are they going to? Is there a community say we are going to
By
scrap
saying
this
any
word?
way the word is being used is just
Exactly,
offensive, literally. But
exactly.
you now picking scenario, so you're putting more complexity into something you would have just said. Let's scrap this.
And-
But you're saying in different ways the word can be used. It won't be.
And most times we are the ones that actually make things complicated for ourselves. And because we are saying the world is complex, and I'll give you a beautiful example.
But a simple
Most
way
times,
would have just been to
most
scrap
times,
it.
your own thoughts might even be a problem. You know, sometimes even someone might let's go back to this racism thing. Someone might not even be trying to be a racist, but because your thoughts align with that, anything the person is doing is literally this particular thing. And I'll give you an example. One thing happened to me and a friend of mine, and we were coming from. Then I was still at Queens, and then the bus. That time, I think it was COVID time that the bus gets filled up easily. Like they were
Okay,
not
because
able-
of that, taking out some
yeah. So the bus driver just came, and the bus driver carried a few people before us, and then came to us and said it's full, and they moved on. And she was like, "See this racist driver and everything," and she was so annoyed that if it were to be a white person, he would have picked the person up. And for me, I felt like all these are assumptions, and that's the problem. For me, self, I can also do the same thing. Sometimes I can decide to be petty, not because I'm white or black.
Oh, black,
Okay,
yeah.
but you
I
really
can't
think
decide.
that, I don't
So,
understand. You really
I
think that
do think
racism
there's-
is
there
I'm not
is-
saying
I
that.
think
I'm not
there
saying that
is.
people do not do things that are offensive. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that the people that are doing those offensive things are doing it because they have bad characters, and not necessarily because they
don't
are white
understand.
or
Okay,
black.
No, but then see,
no.
the
What
thing
I'm
is
saying
that
is-
the same situation.
Do you know
Someone
that
can do
women,
it.
women are black women are four times likely to die from pregnancy.
Why?
This thing.
Why?
Because they're black. Seriously.
Sharon,
There
I
are
don't,
many.
I don't, Sharon, I don't understand that.
wait,
you're
let me
starting
finish.
to
Let me
No,
finish.
it is
Let me
actually.
finish.
Yeah.
It's
No, you
fact.
just said because
Let
they're black. I
me
don't understand
finish.
this.
There would be
Because
other
they are
reasons.
not-
It
they're
won't
not-
just-
they're not,
maybe the
they
gene
were-
or
they have
anything.
been
Why?
many
They're
stories.
not.
Why?
See,
They
I
have
see
been
this one is even
because-
something. Imagine this.
Wait,
Imagine.
let me finish.
See,
She's
this
saying
was
why, right?
this is what
I
Sharon
cannot
said.
lie.
So I just need her to elaborate. Black women are are 4 times more likely to die in the hospital because they are black during pregnancy because they are black.
Yeah.
That tells me nothing on the side.
Because
Okay,
Are you-
because
because
some
what, they don't
doctors-
have-
some doctors still
Don't
have
want
that.
to treat them.
Some doctors still
Yeah.
have that mentality that black people don't really feel pain like them.
I've never heard this.
Oh, yeah, it's a thing.
It's a thing.
it's a
It's
thing.
serious.
There are like
Because if you
situations and
said because blacks don't have health care, then I get
No,
where
it's
you're
not
coming
just that. It's
But
not
just-
based on just healthcare or stuff like
No,
that.
like-
It's based on the fact that there are people that are like, oh, no, they can suffer more, they can take in more pain than a
Than
typical
other-
white person.
yes.
Then that is a wicked soul.
It's not a wicked snow
No,
because it's the
it's a
same.
racist
They will
thing
give.
because
It's, that is what
they say that
racism.
all
You
black
do something
people-
for your own, like for white
because
people.
you're black, you don't
Well,
But
do
you
that
will not do the
nonsense.
same
Well,
thing.
I'm
An
saying
example
that.
in
I'm
it-
saying that.
That's racist.
What I'm saying is that the person is doing it for the white people is because the person is bad and not because he's white. That's what I'm
it's
saying.
because
Because see, there are some
That's
things that are
what
normal.
racism
There are things that are normal. See,
racism.
if I have a position and I'm opportune to take in two people, and then a white person submits the resume and the black person submits the resume, and they both perform excellently well, there is a possibility of me considering a black person.
because you're
Actually.
black.
So why?
But the woman is screaming in
So
pain.
that's the
That's
that's what I'm saying. That
but
is
she's saying that there is
wickedness,
something
and I
wrong
would
with
I would
her,
say
but
that
you
is
go to another
wickedness.
person saying
That's
that.
what I'm saying.
That is
It's
not
beyond
race.
race.
Can you say your
You are
example?
saying that
It's
because
beyond race. It's beyond
It's
race.
racism.
See,
It's racism.
even if we were to still come to this gathering, if except okay, I've seen different people. I've seen establishments even in Nigeria that they consider Hausa people consider more Hausa, and if you go to Abuja, you will see more Hausa people. Exactly.
That's
So
what this-
But we are
that's
talking
what I'm
about
saying.
hospital
So
setting. You are
what
telling
I'm
us
what I'm
discrimination is.
you know,
what
I
I'm
don't
saying
think
is
you are
exactly.
listening.
So I'm
That's
saying
what
that
discrimination is.
what I'm saying is discrimination is a general problem, and it is not because you are white or black. That's
But
all I'm
there's
saying.
racism. You can't tell me racism.
It's
is
because
That's
not-
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Racism exists.
I'm not saying that racism is not like is not something that exists. What I'm saying is, I won't call it racism. I'll call it a position of a category of persons being a bad people. That's the way I see it. Beyond racism, because I just see it.
Because you believe that all black people do not feel pain as much as white people.
Why does-
That does
why
not
does
make
it-
sense.
why
Why
would
would
it
you
doesn't-
think that?
Do you think all white people believe that way?
Not all white.
Exactly.
No,
That's
I'm not
my
saying all
point.
white people are
That-
racist.
that-
They did.
that-
They
that-
did
that-
it.
that-
All white
that's
people
my
are-
point.
We're
They did
not
an
saying.
anonymous
We're not
That's my
saying
point.
all
And
white
it was-
people are
Wait,
racist.
at least there was a time. I don't know if you want
was
to.
my
I don't know
joke.
if you would like to say this on here or not. But there was a time you said that you won't like to marry a Benin guy.
Yeah.
Okay, you're comfortable saying this or not.
Yes, I
So why do you think that way? It's because you are
They
not
are
just
wicked.
exactly.
Why
So
would I
it's you having a particular
Why you just say
narrative.
they are wicked
See.
like that? Why would you?
But I've seen Benin people that are very nice. So
Yeah, I agree.
so it's because there is a
Yes,
yeah, and you're
I'm
nice
half wicked.
anyways. You're half wicked.
Yeah,
So what I'm saying is it's because you have a particular narrative, and this is one thing I would like the word in itself to scrap in a way. Now and this is where racism comes in, because I won't say like there is no trait of that, but for me I don't just see it as racism because there is. It is just like a particular set of people pushing this. Now when you grow up now, you have a child, you can instill in that child that don't marry this set of people, and then the child starts behaving that way because of what you've said. So there are some narratives that are going on because of what some people are instilling in those people, and then you continue to see people like that. But I won't say it is because they are white at first. It is because they are some set of people that are actually bad in themselves, and they are trying to push a narrative, and then they hide under a particular thing. Just like
And that
back
is
to
why
the
I
masculinity
always, that's
too.
why I always say understand why a set of people are pushing a narrative and question that narrative. There is always a narrative being pushed. You must understand, if you are aligned with that narrative, you must be open to also disagree as to why is this certain narrative being pushed. Let me give going back to toxic masculinity. This has not started from the beginning of time. It started a few years ago because a group of people came to push a certain narrative. The best way to get to get to where they are going was to develop a vocabulary that would connect to who they are. And that's why I asked, where is the narrative of toxic femininity? Because it doesn't exist. And because a group of people have just realized this vocabulary would click, and they have just, that's the vocabulary being pushed. Toxic masculinity. you don't hear people push. You don't. That's why I said on the internet. How many times have you seen, even in a conversation of videos you watch, how many times have you heard that phrase, toxic fem? The only few times you may even hear it is when they ask somebody, what are toxic, and the person now chose, okay, he now asks you in counter, what's toxic fem? But in general, you don't. Even on CNN, any news station, you will hear that phrase, toxic masculinity, because there is an agenda being pushed.
And based on that particular thing, the particular agenda that you always want to push is what will be pronounced most times. Even when you're seeing a better part of those things, you don't want to talk about those better parts. You just want to talk about the toxic and everything. And I will give you an example. Like, I've been moving with a lot of white people lately, and just going back to that racism thing, I've been moving with them, and they've been so nice to me, like extremely nice to me. And I was on a call with my brother one day, and there were two ladies, white people that I knew from somewhere, and they were behind the car and they were waving. I didn't even know, so I came out and saw them, and we started talking. And my brother has noticed the way we've been talking and everything. Like, with these people, like, I have several names of them that we talk, and he was like, but what I've been hearing about this set of people is like they are just very bad people and all that. So what I'm saying in essence is, and the reason why toxic masculinity, you hear it a lot, is because that is what they want to push. In fact, even if the toxic people are just 5%, they will leave the 95% and push the 5% and say that there are a lot of toxic people out there. So that's the reason that it is the agenda of the main agenda that you want people to see, that is being pushed. Yeah, exactly. The men are toxic and all. So that's my own fault. Do you have other questions?
Should I give example?
No, because I want to give examples too. But
anything you want to see, you always see it. And one thing I will say is, I'm not saying that there are no racial acts. I'm not saying that people don't behave that way. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm just saying that it is because they are actually bad people. And that's what I'm saying. That if you want to see a bad black person, you will see it. If you want to see a black white person, you will see it. If you want to see a bad brown person, any sort of person, even if you want to see a bad dog, you will see it. Any traits, you always see those traits. If you want to see a good anything, you will see it. If you want to see a toxic feminine, you will see it. So there are people like that they are just general. Because they are now toxic, do you now have to classify them as, okay, this is toxic masculinity, this is toxic femininity? No, but they are just toxic, and that's it.
That's where we stand. That's where me I stand.
I'm made it, but I think that is not on this table.
I just feel like I wish I was. I don't think I'm the right person to argue this. I don't feel like, because I know where I stand. I know what I feel, but I don't know how to
express.
Actually, against you people that are more, but I'm not able to express. It's alright. I'm not just.
So if you have the same opinion, please express it in the comments.
Right,
and of course, I know that there will be a lot of people that will be against the racism stuff.
Even of recent, I think Idris Abba said something like, we should just, people are just people. He's not a black actor. I think he said something like that. Maybe I'm paraphrasing.
But then
he's just an actor. But he's just an actor. Why do you have to play the card of he's a black actor? He's just an actor.
And the earlier you correct the narrative, the better for you. Yeah. Because now you see yourself as a black actor, you diminish yourself, or
you're playing into this
exactly space. See, you should be able to stand anywhere anyone is standing as a person and be able to share your own opinion, because most times we play the victim card.
So
and
if you want to do it that way, we're just humans, and so we don't have roles, we don't have anything. There is no
doubt that we have identities.
No, it's not about identity.
That's the reason for saying we all have our identity, and you can't take that away. That I'm a Nigerian, you can't take that away. I'm from Africa, you can't take that. Exactly, you can't take that away. That's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, when we are now pushing a particular role or agenda, like we all are the same in that same role. That's what I feel. So if you are an actor, I'm an actor. Because you're white doesn't mean you are above, or you have a...
As I said, I don't feel like I'm the right person. I know where I stand, but I don't feel like I'm the right person.
There's also this question I used to ask a few of my friends anyway, that what our colonial masters did to us, we say it's wrong? Is it because we're on the receiving end? If we're at the other side, would we be any different?
See,
I'll
I have views about
Okay.
colonization and stuff like that because it's controversial in a way, but
Because at the end of the day,
my
this one thing
views are
I've come to
controversial.
understand, right? Is one thing I've come to understand is everyone is fighting for that survival. He who doesn't fight for his survival becomes eaten. For you to survive, and I always say there is an ideal world where everyone is all good, we're smiling, we have no hidden agenda. But the sad part of it is no one lives in that ideal world. So if an example is people always say US is bad. US is bad because they're the world power. If Nigeria was world power, would they be any different? Or if another African country was world power, would they be any different? Because for you to be on that seat of world power, you must make moves that would put people in a wrong place.
I don't
Make moves like what?
You must play the role of that. You must play the role.
Make moves like what?
It depends.
No, but I
No,
don't
let's
because
to
what
me-
do you mean? No, because when people say that America is bad, they're
It's not
usually
because
talking about the
of-
school shootings.
It's
No,
not
no,
because
no.
no, that's not me I'm talking about. Though. I'm not
People-
talking
When I
about.
talk- when I
It's
say
how- it's how
America
they-
is
it's how-
horrible.
No, the reason why I don't
I
like
talk about
America
the-
is not because they have
the violence is horrible.
the tech and their world power. That's not the reason why I don't like.
What is the political landscape in which they play?
What?
And it's horrible.
That's not
Yeah,
why I
wait,
like.
so
I
when-
don't
so
like.
wait,
I don't like America
when
because of
when
that's a
you hear-
different
when
topic.
the phrase
The reason
of
why I don't like
America is
America
the
is
strongest is world power. What do you think? You think it's by bullets and guns?
no, that's not.
It's
What are you
what-
saying? I don't have a problem with America being world power. That's what they
That's
are.
what
What
you
they
think that
are.
phrase means?
Actually, the main
It's
reason
not that.
is
I don't have a
what?
problem with them being because
It's
any
because
country
they
can be a
control the
superpower.
world, not with bullets and guns. It's a complex array of things.
I mean, the way. Okay, so how did they get to that position? Because they were never there.
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
fought.
America was never there.
They fought
And
their way
fought
there.
with
That's my point.
Bullets and guns.
No, they fought their way to sit on that
And
seat.
they still use bullets and
So
guns.
what I'm saying
you know
is,
they have a
if
button.
a country today,
They have a button.
if a
they
country
put that
today,
button.
wait,
your
if a country today
dead.
was to attain that seat, they would need. We understand they would need to fight their way up the ladder,
Yeah, I don't mind.
To attain that
There's
seat.
always going to be a first position.
and
There's
there
always
would
someone that's
and
gonna
there would
be-
always be an hierarchy system in survival,
Yeah, I don't like.
which is there must always be a victim.
That's why I say this.
So the victim will always look at the oppressor
I understand
As
what
a
you're
bad
saying,
person.
but
as a bad person.
I get what. That's why I say my view.
see,
was-
in America is a good person.
then
I don't like America for not because of their world power. That's not why I don't
If
like
I'm saying
America.
America is a good person, if they're a good set of people, the country is doing what it needs to do for their survival. I do not. So the thing is, people need to understand for survival, the oppressed,
of the fittest.
it's survival of the fittest. So the oppressed assuming
Country
that
not even survive. People
no,
are
so
not
the
surviving.
oppressed assuming
That's why I
that
don't
Step
like.
out.
That's why I
Step
don't
out,
like
you could be
America
shot.
because all of them are just
School,
feeling like they
children,
feel like
small
But we also have- we
children,
also have-
5 years
well,
old.
every country
The
has-
government is not saying she mind.
that one is on me. Which
for me, I think that particular discussion is beyond me, anyways. But the only thing my thoughts around, especially when it comes to colonialism, is that I won't say because they did it makes it right. In fact, even if you want to fight the victim or not victim, if Nigeria were to be in that position to colonize maybe the UK, for example, that doesn't still make it right. That's my own thoughts. So exactly. So if I'm condemning something bad, I'm not condemning it from the part of, and I think some people might think it maybe contradicts because I don't believe in racism, and then, but for me, I just believe in if something is bad, know that it's bad, not because it is this set of people doing it or this set of people. So colonization for me is bad, and I won't say anyone that is on the receiving end still doesn't make it good or lovely. If it is bad, it is bad because these are humans too, and you did crazy things to humans. So for me, it's just bad, and that's the way I see it. So that's my own thoughts. But anything people do to achieve world power, that's their own business. It's their own business. But I just feel like if you're doing something bad, then it's bad.
bad is
Bad is subjective.
we're now in an age where
Because
bad and good.
It's very. It's
Everything
right
is
now. It's
becoming-
bad. There's no line
Everything is
between bad and good. It's very subjective. What you think is bad may not be another person's bad.
But
That's true.
I feel there are just basic things to know. Once
Yeah,
it's
that there
once
should be
once it's
basic- there should
once
be
it's
basic
affecting
building
humans.
blocks, which everyone
you
is
should-
so
exactly.
As I said, this word morality, or is it morality, or which is, am I pronouncing it well?
value system.
Their value system and everything is
I think
kwashoko.
we-
It's like,
Well, I think we've spent enough time. Except, do we have other
No,
questions? again?
that's it. Yeah.
that's it. Oh
Yeah.
my god. So we
Because-
talked about feminism, masculinity, racism, colonization.
No, it was because of this
Building blocks.
masculinity
No,
that
no, it was
brought
because of this
in.
masculinity. Toby
That brought
to
in the
give a
racism,
different
exactly.
example as to-
And I know that that's even more controversial, but that's just my own take, seriously.
It's alright. Everyone has their own, as you say, everyone has their own
And
opinion.
I just feel like
And
the
perspective.
earlier the better. The earlier we are looking for, because these people that are claiming that they are being racialized are also doing something worse to other people.
See,
Like,
I
what
don't
I'm saying
agree
that
with- I don't still agree with you.
the earlier we become a better people generally,
But then that's the
the
ideal
better.
world. The ideal world
Because-
is people becoming better people.
And
But
that's
then
the
it's not
reason.
going to be
And that's the
it's not
reason
going
why
to
I'm
be
using my mic. That's what I'm pushing. I'm not
So
saying.
they are pushing the ideal world coming, but then you also
of
still
course,
say that
of
there's
course.
no
it-
ideal world.
Yeah, it would
Pushing
be the
people,
ideal.
pushing
But what I'm saying is, it can be better. That's just what I feel.
Yeah, definitely. It
Like,
can- it
if
can-
you
it
train your
should be.
child
But you are saying
to
better in
treat
terms of-
everybody the same way, irrespective, then the world will be better because it starts from that. So if
But
I
we're in a
train
world
if I
right
train my
now-
child to treat even Igbo and Hausas the same way, and also white and black the same way, it's going to be better. That's what I'm saying. Instead of saying that, okay. No, but the truth is, why do we all speak? Why do we all share our opinions? Is it just for people to see things, or at least to push something great,
It's to
so
push a
that
narrative.
a narrative, and to just counter the other narrative that it can always be better? Actually,
It should be better, and
yeah.
hopefully over time it will eventually get better.
It will become like Kashoko.
Because-
It's still going to keep twisting, because if people are saying better, as if no, there's this ideal better, but then
No,
one
no,
person's
no,
better
no.
is another person's worse. So I'm saying that
No,
people
so-
think
No,
that
how is it worse? For example, how is that worse? You said one person's better is another person's worse.
yeah,
So-
what you define your own as,
Now-
okay, this is what
now,
make the world, this is my ideal world, this is what
now,
make it. It's still
exactly.
another person's like, I don't want to live in that world.
We are using the same example. Now, treating people the same way, just like Sharon mentioned now, like there were black women in hospitals crying and going through
Yeah,
pain. So
If you just are treated
so
people first come,
if
first
you
serve,
now
or-
treat everyone the same way, how is it not better in all ramification? That can never be anybody's worst. If it is anybody's worst, then they should check this person. They should check the person. It's painful. And I'm not saying that they are racialized people because of the way they've trained them,
They've
the way
trained
they've
themselves.
trained
Yeah,
themselves to
they've been
think.
programmed
Well,
to think
what I'm
that
saying is, think about it. You're just wicked, and you're not trying to be racist.
But an example
You're
of
just
what
wicked.
Sarah was saying, like a person's better could be somebody else's worse.
Using this
Okay,
particular
what if-
example.
What if somebody ideal world is every man is polygamous? A man would guess it. Hey, let me finish you. A man, somebody is saying that every man should have at least 7 wives, and then somebody else is saying that no, one man, one wife.
See, those ones are different ideologies, and I want
But
to
it's
be
still,
but-
it's
see,
still part
it,
of
no,
the
it,
ideal
no,
world,
no,
right?
I won't say
That's
that's
their own
ideal.
ideal
I won't
world.
say that's
why I say
ideal.
that- that's
See,
why I say
that one
this
doesn't
world
affect
will continue to
anybody.
be
No, but
No, that
kwashiorkor.
one, no, that has nothing to.
Someone's
Eh,
poison. could
no,
be another
no,
person's
that's
poison.
a different scenario at all.
Another
That's a
person's
different
ideal
scenario.
world. Another
No,
person's
that's-
ideal world. I'm saying
no,
that wait.
No, that's-
Another person's ideal world is that
No,
you know what,
I-
we should have hierarchy in everything we do, and everyone should have what's it called, rank, and they want to
Communism
rank.
versus, what's the other one again?
That is their ideal world. Is that like, and they are pushing? That's why I say that this.
See,
I'm not
even saying-
complaining.
I'm not
I'm
even
just saying that
even
this
saying-
world will completely.
See, I'm not even saying, I'm not even saying having hierarchies or anything is even wrong. It's all about anything that can work. But what I'm saying is, if something is really bad that is affecting other humans, then treat it, irrespective of.
But they may not know it's affecting other humans.
That's a lie then.
They
That's
may
a
like
lie.
they're doing
That's
what
a lie.
is their own now.
Because the
It's
polygamy,
okay.
the polygamy thing that she used. Now some people love to be polygamous, and it's normal. Some people love to be polygamous. It's normal.
Those why you do communism. Somebody wants a communist world, and what's the other one again? I forgot.
We have different ones. There's is it socialist?
Yeah,
socialist,
one wants a communist world. Another one wants a socialist.
See, what am I saying? If I'm to look at it from that angle, I'm saying that I'm not even against maybe communist or being a socialist or anything. What I'm against is now push an agenda that favors at least
But I'm just saying that
the
a lot of-
majority. See, once people are treated right and everything, even in a communist world, I just feel the world will be a better place. Though,
push for the better.
yeah, just push. Even if people won't still listen, there's nothing wrong in saying it. So that's my own
What if
view.
it
So-
becomes 50-50? Is this the majority or minority?
At this point, we're just
I think I'm good, and the people watching understand.
I think so.
Nah, I definitely understand what you guys are. I'm just pushing.
Yeah, but to
I
summarize,
think you guys have tried.
let me summarize everything. Basically, is you must, as I always say, and I think I've been saying this from the very first day, is you must always understand the narrative being pushed by a certain group of people. You might align yourself with that narrative, but as long as you understand the core of what those people are pushing, you can genuinely defend it, and you also have to be open to other ideas, and also question anything you stand for.
And also, if you're pushing that a particular narrative, you do not necessarily have to look at it just from the victim perspective.
Yes,
only,
not
because
just from
usually the victims are the ones pushing a particular
Yeah,
narrative.
pushing a
And
particular
if you
narrative.
are just viewing it from the victim's perspective, you always see it from their angle or their lens, and it might not be the best.
Okay,
lens.
coming from
Yeah,
that,
so
do you
it won't give
agree
a-
that
it
won't-
women? Do you agree that women are victims of men
No.
based on what they said?
They are victims of one another.
Victims are pushing their narrative, and
Okay,
feminists are pushing.
victim.
That's what
Of
she
course,
just said.
women and
So
men are
women-
victims
Wait.
of what women push.
No,
So men are the
I
victims
don't have.
now.
Well, yeah, what I'm saying
wait
is
now,
no.
but-
Wait, first of all, okay.
Shifting goalposts.
No,
Who is shifting goalposts right now?
I think
Yeah,
I understand.
shifting
I was actually,
women
I
shift
was, no, I
goalposts.
was looking at it from another angle, but I understand what you're saying now. Now, based on what you're saying, women see themselves as victims when they are not necessarily victims. Just using it's just like we are still going backwards again. But using what's it called? The example she gave now, the toxic masculinity. It is just like a set of people seeing themselves as victims, whereas in the real sense, you are not a victim of that. You're just the one putting yourself. Maybe you've experienced.
that.
Maybe you've experienced a particular heartbreak from a particular man because he was toxic, and then you now assume and then
That's
trying to push it.
majority
So what I'm
of
saying
men
in
are-
essence is you're not necessarily the victim. You're not.
It doesn't still mean
But
majority.
that doesn't
doesn't
mean
account- it
that
doesn't
doesn't
account for
mean
majority.
exactly, and that doesn't mean
There are 4
that-
billion men.
You have to,
Exactly.
You have to
And
at
that
least
doesn't mean that
experience
they are-
at least like 60%.
Exactly.
51%.
After
That's
dating-
the
That means
majority.
that means you must have you must have been in a relationship with
A
over
group of
100
women.
million.
you would
What
have
if
been
a
in a
group of
relationship
women,
with, give or take,
let's take a group
over
of
3
women.
over 3 billion.
What if like
just
majority
saying.
of
I'm
women
just
have the
saying.
same stance situation of
But
back to back?
Do you think majority
Majority
of
of
women have the same stand? It's just like a set of people
But
pushing
then, I mean,
something.
if it's not majority
Yeah,
of women,
look.
how are they pushing it?
That's the funny thing. Don't let's even go to that. There are a lot of minority activism these days that we all know that they are pushing so hard.
This generation now is full of activism. So we can actually leave that for another day. We want to talk about the woke generation which we live in, and everybody forming to be an activist instead of providing solutions to the problem. But just let's. I feel everyone should
Summarize for us, please.
summarize. It's very simple. There is no such thing as toxic masculinity, nor
According to Micah.
female
And me.
or
Supported
feminine.
But then,
masculinity.
according to
I
Dara,
There are-
But
there
Dara
are-
you
is-
know,
people,
Dara is not
humans,
on this table.
humans are toxic. It's as simple as that. Humans are bad. We have good humans. We have bad humans. You do not need to create a subset. When you start creating subsets and individual creating groups within you are just basically playing into that narrative of you want to actually push a narrative which we don't need. There are good people, there are bad people. What is now breaking it down to? There are good male people, there are good female people. No, good is good, bad is bad.
Irrespective
Ah,
of the
but
gender.
Irrespective
we've
of the gender. So,
heard.
I hope, but as always, everyone, feel free to let us know in the comment section
Yes,
what your
please.
thoughts are. Obviously, everyone has different views, but we would like to know your thoughts, your views.
And the reason why you think that way. You know,
Could
because
also-
Dara mentioned that she couldn't.
I'm not the
She
right
knows what
person.
she wanted to say, but
I
she
don't feel
couldn't
like I'm the
just
right
say
person
it
to
well.
argue, yeah.
So if you can help us say it well,
Yes,
you
thank
can
you.
put
Yes.
it in the
And
comment.
as I always seek information and don't be comfortable in the ideas you have. Challenge those ideas
Exactly.
periodically and see how you fall and know how strong those ideas you stand by are. So Dara, please challenge your ideas. Sharon, I'm happy.
You to challenge your ideas.
My ideas are being challenged regularly.
If they
But
are not
you
being
also feel
challenged, I
like
won't
it.
believe in some of these things that I believed in.
So
I should be
No, but
support.
challenge the idea that
should
you
have.
support.
My ideas
I
are
should
being
support.
challenged.
See, if
that's
they
why
are
I
not,
listen. That's why I listen to different.
if they are not
We've
challenged,
heard.
if they are not challenged, I should support black people on this table.
Yeah.
No, but then challenge your idea of not supporting black people.
Yes, I challenged it and I see that this should be.
Don't worry.
why I said racism
I would also. I would also like to say something which I'm not to drag this thing long, but the more you seek information, to be honest, sometimes you will get confused because it becomes an overload. But you keep seeking. So thank you everyone for listening. Please share, subscribe. Let us know your thoughts and your opinions.
Thank you for everyone following already on Spotify.
Oh yes,
Or,
yes, for following on Spotify.
And of course, you
yes.
can follow Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts.
And Sharon, what are our social media handles?
Mustard
Mustard
Nuts.
Nuts.
Just
The
check it
one on-
out.
the one on
On
TikTok.
TikTok.
Yeah,
Mustard
so
Nuts.
sometimes
Instagram.
You would see
Mustard
Sharon
Nuts.
doing some funny things on our TikTok.
What did I
Yeah.